Ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, welcome to the Beacon TVL show, your source for all kinds of fun news and takes here in the world of on-chain finance. I am your host, Chris, the DeFi professor, with our rally caps on today, ladies and gentlemen, as we try and get BTC back above where it's at and hopefully staying above 62K. We'll see exactly how that goes. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Guest back. Apparently it's been a month and a half since he's been here in the shenanigans. He's probably right. We've got your boy, Robert, a.k.a. the almighty, world-famous DJ Waxy G, back on the show from Bitcast Networks at Subnet
Yo,
93,
yo.
correct?
That's right. Subnet 93.
Subnet 93 in the BitTensor ecosystem. Robert, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Good to be back.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it's been that long. If I'm being very honest, I was like, wait, really? I was like, huh.
I know. Usually it's bi-weekly at least.
Yeah, but I know you've been a busy guy. You've been hitting the conference circuit a little bit, right? Tell me a little bit about like some of your adventures of the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. So there was the stablecoin conference LATAM
Yep.
edition here in Mexico City last week. Um, yeah, I didn't actually attend the main conference, but there was a bunch of good side events I went to. One from Superconductor, which had a lot of Bitso people in it there. One from Stellar and a marketing agency called Myosin.xyz. Some pretty cool stuff around marketing and AI. So yeah, it was really cool. Actually, really good speakers and good people in town.
Yeah, give me a little bit of a rundown. What's like the main narratives that the majority of Web3 people are, at least in LATAM, are focusing on right now? LATAM being Latin America, by the way, guys.
Yeah, definitely stablecoin. Uh, neobank, uh, wallet, payment rails, infrastructure, uh, all those things. And there's been some pretty decent headway too. I mean, there's a lot of these apps. Some of the local apps that I now use as well to, like, for example, ARQ, which used to be called Dollar App. There's another one called Morse, which used to be called Sling. I was
Oh
actually
wow!
really,
So there's a lot of rebranding, right?
yeah, there's a couple of rebrands there, and they actually accept USDC deposits now, which is pretty
Ooh.
awesome.
So would you say that your options for on ramping and off ramping are now expanded due to all these new rebrands?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's something I was surprised to see, and then yeah, that's where a lot of the conversations are happening. I would say here in Latam around integrating stablecoin infrastructure and payments in a lot of these kind of like newer neobank fintech apps.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Was quantum part of the conversation at all?
I didn't hear it brought up too much, but I'm sure somebody was talking about it. But no, I didn't hear too much about
No, I
that.
just
But I
meant in
mean,
terms of people you talked to. Are people worried about quantum and stuff like that?
no, I didn't hear it mentioned at all.
Okay. I was trying to I was trying to do a dirty little segue there, but
I
I,
mean, yeah, everyone was talking about it. Yeah.
no, it's on me because I
People are
can't get over
freaking
to
out.
my things fast enough.
People are
Uh,
screaming like
People
quantum,
are
quantum.
screaming. The
Yeah.
reason I say that is because we'll lead with this before we get over to the markets. President
Mhm.
Trump has decided to kind of open the gates specifically on quantum security, and he has this new EO that was signed 2 days ago uh, about ultimately he's ordering NIST and a couple of other um, government groups to put together uh, everything we can to maintain a technological leadership over the, uh, I guess, the research into quantum. When we talked about quantum last time, I don't know if you were on this show, but Logan, when he was at Quantum EVM, was. Uh, we were looking at 2035 as the original date for what we call Q Day, which is the day that uh, that quantum computers can reliably break the strongest available encryption that's used today, which is the ECDSA, or elliptical curve cryptography, by 2035. With Google's production of the paper, which showed they could do it reasonably by end of 2029, within minutes, I think is what the article said, that caused this panic. And then Justin Drake, who's the co-author of that, he's also a Bitcoin researcher and holder, obviously. But he mentioned that now it's more like 10% by 2029, and over 50% by 2032, I believe was the actual date. I have to go back and check the episode. But that's specifically what the quantum move is here, is to try and get most of that done by 2030 is when the new, then thanks to Ars Technica for this article. He wants a full transition to post-quantum cryptographic key establishment schemes by the last day of 2030. And then, but 12 months later, to quantum-safe digital signature schemes. That's actually a very important deadline. This is, frankly, 2 years after where most people will probably be, because there's been an acceleration over the last 6 months now to figure out, and this was something during Bitcoin Vegas as well that Logan pointed out. People are looking now to try and get ahead of this as quickly as possible. With that said, a little bit of a weird transition point that we're going to have to get to. Everyone's going to have to get new Bitcoin, new Ethereum, and all this type of stuff. There's a full roadmap on Ethereum Foundation's website for stuff like this. So, I know you mentioned that no one was really talking about this at the conference, but seeing that the EO has come out to push forward that timeline, Robert, by 5 full years. Probably something more to this than we were thinking. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that projection got pushed ahead a couple months ago, right? More or less, or a few
No,
months
this is
ago.
2 days ago.
Okay, because I'd heard that previously as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
officially 2 days ago, right?
yeah, and that caused a little bit of jitters in the market. I mean, yeah, I think it just depends on how quickly the Bitcoin core developers can move on this, and I think for other teams, in crypto, it's a little bit faster. But it's my understanding that the Bitcoin core devs move pretty slowly overall, right? I mean, by design.
By design, they have come up with something to kind of band-aid that right now with a hash-based transition, like using a hash graph in front of a lot of what's going to be happening, like forking the network to move towards that. So there's roughly about 6.9 million Bitcoin that will be affected by a quantum break out of the 21 million that are in supply. So ultimately, there has to be action taken on those, because most of those haven't been taken action on. All the other ones, for the most part, I guess have, from based on on what I've been looking at. But there are some that, regardless of what happens, they're not going to be. They're going to get hit by a quantum attack because of some action they've already taken. So, as long as whatever happens to get new quantum safe signatures and quantum safe cryptography backing all of these networks, by this date, we should be fine. It looks like there are certain blockchains like Near, Algorand, and a couple others, like I think Tron is also working very diligently towards this to be ahead of the curve. So will they be part of the next group of blockchains to be above all of that? Probably, but I guess we'll kind of see how everything works out. I think Hedera is also in that group, as they should be, because they work very closely with a lot of sovereign and enterprise clients.
Yeah, and also BitTensor, for example, is built on Substrate,
Yes.
um, which has a much more malleable and easy to upgrade runtime.
Yeah. So I mean, I think BitTensor should be fine. I think all of Polkadot should be fine.
Mhm.
We'll see exactly how that is, but I wanted to talk to you about some specific news that I think uh, it's really big in my household. It's really big in my personal heart. This is the news that's kind of led the news for me for the past week, and that is uh, my favorite member of Twice, Jung Yeon, is she's in talks to sign to a new agency. This is huge in South Korea because this could mean because there's nine members of Twice. They've been in the game since 2015. They're amazing. All right, I'll move on. But do you know Twice? You K-poppy?
Not familiar, no.
Oh,
No, not no.
well,
Um,
I guess it's
I mean,
just me then. I guess it's just me.
yeah, no, I know how popular K-pop is for sure, but I don't know I don't know the group names.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Shout out to all the onesies out
How's
there.
that affecting the market?
If they had a meme coin market based off of K-pop idols, nobody take my idea. Nobody take my idea. We're gonna do a hip three. No, we're not. We can't do a hip three market. We don't have that much capital. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah,
Let's transition to the markets.
I think
So
your rally cap is having is a reverse indicator.
yeah, yeah.
It's now called the Kramer cap.
Oh no, I don't want. I definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Good lord.
I'm joking.
Bitcoin falling. I woke up to a notification saying that Bitcoin had fallen under 60, comma 2. I'm like, what? Mainly because it hadn't been there since October of 2024. Um, wait, when did?
That
Whoa,
just
whoa, 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 whoa!
yeah, that's happening right now.
That literally just happened.
Hmm.
So I know that BlackRock dumped a bit of Bitcoin and ETH at the beginning of the market, right before the market fell. Um, so stocks are also down overall as well. I've seen a couple of different reasons for this market contraction. One of them is that there needs to be some repricing done, specifically on calculating, I think, like funds or something like pension funds, and there are some balances that need to be done. And this is just the timing of a lot of it, with regards to a lot of markets kind of contracting. Now, uh, the Korean Kospi market went full circuit breaker mode yesterday, and I guess it's still falling today. There is a woman who was live streaming, working the markets, and Korean streamer, and she just started like beating up her desk and crashing out live on stream because the market was looking a lot like this. Um, I don't think she sold, but hopefully she realizes that as long as she doesn't sell, she hasn't realized a loss yet. So that's kind of the one thing I would say to you guys is that you didn't lose if you don't sell. So some people would say when a market like this, in a market of what we call falling knives, you just buy more, especially when it comes to your high conviction blue chip crypto asset. Obviously, not financial advice. Do your own research. Don't ask us. We're DJ. But Robert, what are your main thoughts about the market looking like this with regards to, there's a variety of things, right? We've got other global markets crashing due to most likely energy crises, the idea that that the war on Iran possibly could never end at
Hmm.
this point, at least till the end of the year, because of, you know, reasons.
Stuff. Yeah, I think it's a few different things. I think that yeah, in regards to the Iran war, yeah, if it does end, which is right now it just seems to be like a never-ending kind of the most epic insider trading ever, stopping and starting the war, basically. Um, but also there's going to be inevitably massive delays in restoring oil supply, which is going to, even if it ended now, would take probably what, like 2 to 3 months,
Yeah,
right? So
easily, because
that's, yeah,
the Saudis had moved a lot of their refinery operations to the west coast. Qatar has kind of done the same. There's a whole bunch of things that are uh, going on. Like, I know that they're building some things on the other side or just on the south side, so that they don't need the Strait of Hormuz. That's still going to take a ton of time to do, and to move and shift operations. Um, yeah, none of this is
yeah,
happening. The markets are reacting quickly. Uh, I think also with Kevin Warsh being now barely very seemingly hawkish after everything that I had said about the man being hawkish, there's a 70% chance we're going to see a rate hike in the next 3 months now. So there's, you know, the
yeah. There's
world
the rate.
is.
Yeah, yeah. The uncertainty over rates.
Yep.
There, therefore liquidity. There's also, you know, the AI stocks, which have been pumping in spite of everything, which are sucking up a lot of liquidity as well. Remains to be seen how and when that might rotate. But yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing really just looking. I mean, there's things that are looking fairly flat, right? Like the inside joke is that $5 tether is still on the table. But
Mhm. I've been
with
holding that
everything
for
that
a long
happened this week, that's never. I mean, synthetics USD, SUSD is at like 25 cents right now, which is kind of crazy. All things considered, we're seeing market caps start to tumble. Um, I think we're just seeing an overall market contraction, right? There's been, I mean, in the bond market, at least there's a reprice for a lot of things, and things are just contracting. I think there's a lot of reaction to a lot of things. I think people are just kind of sidelining cash where they can, uh, due to an impending issue. I think the president was on record saying that he did the negotiations for the end of the war to save the world from a depression. Don't know why he wanted to say that, but people are like, "Wait, what?" So I'm just like, "Well, it's all theater, guys." We're just going to see how this all kind of plays out. Shout out to everybody who's been putting in the shorts. Apparently, the shorts are eating well. They may have to cover them. They may have to cover them pretty soon. So I would not be leveraging super hard into anything. That's just my personal advice. We've been talking about this for pretty much the entire year, right, Robert? That we're going to be in a bit of a sideways, rangy market pretty much for the entire year, and this is showing exactly that pattern. So, uh, delta neutral's doing good. Yield farming, concentrate liquidity, doing great. If you've been doing that, good for you guys. That's what you should have been doing. Looking at bubbles, no shock, right? Bitcoin is the tide that raises and clearly also sinks a lot of ships. Say that 5 times fast. Uh, a lot of the big ones that we've been talking about are just kind of chilling out. VVV still on the rise here, in my personal opinion. Hype also. Let's see where Hype is. I don't even know why I did that. I can just scroll down. Hype is fell below Solana. It actually flipped Solana, Robert, earlier this week or earlier last week, late last week. It had flipped Solana in price. Um, so
market cap.
market cap, right? Revenue,
Yeah.
things that we're continuing to see that keep driving Hype's price higher and higher. Fear and greed at 17. Yeah, I think people are trying to fly to safety at this point. So we'll probably see a lot of raises, or at least a lot of utilization for stable coins for a little bit. I think that's something that I think we're just going to see a flight to safety, more people sitting in cash, even moving into things like T-bills and stuff like that, trying to go with guaranteed yield, guaranteed safe haven assets. Although we saw gold and silver also tumble pretty damn hard this morning. So, um, overall market contraction. is this the good time to possibly go in and DCA aggressively on assets you have true conviction on? I mean, that answer will always be yes, especially in this market. So stay safe out there, and we'll continue with some more of the news here. Other big news: July 1st is the reset date for MICA or Mika, and this is the markets and crypto and other digital assets framework that Europe has had for two years that we can't seem to get past here in the United States. Although they have a hearing July 16th or something like that. They only have like 250 licenses that they have renewed. There's four figures worth of clients that are going to have to leave the EU framework. I don't know, man. You were
Yeah,
in the EU for a little bit.
for a few months. Yeah, last fall. Didn't do much on the crypto side, but I was there sort of on an extended vacation, I guess. And yeah, I mean, EU not known as the most friendly place for regulation and innovation
No,
overall.
no. But I mean, the point is that they have one. Um, what this really just means is that there's just going to be a select few number of companies going to be able to market and actually take deposits from customers in the EU by falling into Tamika. There's news that Binance couldn't get Greece. That now is just that's been a weird, interesting kind of bubble. But I just saw they just tweeted this morning. Binance is pulling out of their application for Greece for MICA, and they're just going to go try a different EU member country that has yet to be named. Why even cause any mystery there? But yeah, we'll see exactly kind of how this all plays out because Binance kind of needs the EU. It's one of their bigger serving markets, in my personal opinion, outside of Asia, of course, uh, for them to continue, you know, just being one of the two biggest EXs in the world. So we'll see how this kind of works out. I think we'll be overall okay. But have you been watching the World Cup, by the way?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, there's a decent bit of it happening here in Mexico,
Yeah.
Mexico City. Yeah, I've been watching a handful of games, the Mexican ones, a couple, USA, England, Australia. How about you?
Been watching a little bit of it. Who was I watching? Ghana versus somebody. Either way, it was a good match with Ghana scoring in the 93rd minute. Uh,
Ghana and England.
no, it was a group game. It was an initial group game. It was
Oh,
before the knockout stages, so I haven't had a chance to really watch since then. But I'm more intrigued by the fact that Iran is still eligible in the knockout stages, and
no, but the group's still happening right now.
oh, groups are still happening. Okay, well, there's a chance that
Yeah.
Iran could possibly advance to the knockout stages, and apparently a lot of people are pulling for Iran because I guess it's been announced that President Trump will be present at the final championship game, and if Iran just happens to make it there, the just
Yeah.
the this just going to be a fascinating dynamic, right? um,
Yeah. If you thought him being at the Knicks game was weird, then this is going to be even crazier, honestly.
Yeah, what the worst part is just the way that the protocol has been for the Iranian team because they're not allowed to stay in the U.S. They obviously very very underdog pick there for them to make it that far, but they win, they get to raise the trophy. The rumor is President Trump wants to raise the trophy too. Does it? Just like, just the idea of it, it's salivating. The idea of seeing such PR, right? Yeah,
That would be crazy.
it would be crazy, right? But Even more interesting, a Brazilian psychic. Uh, she had the same dream twice. Apparently, today is the day. She has 23 million followers, by the way. If any of those followers want to come over and follow us and watch this stream, molto bueno. That's the wrong. That's probably the wrong language for Portuguese. Um,
I was like, bom dia. Something like
bom dia to you all. Apparently, Brazil versus Scotland. If you're a wrestling fan, there's a huge Scottish wrestling promotion that has asked WWE's Danhausen to curse the Brazilians and their beautiful game. Yeah, if there's a chance that both Vinny Jr., Neymar, and I don't know anybody on the Scottish team get abducted during the match. Interesting. So I don't know how you feel about dreams. I mean, again, this is just a side tangent. I've been having such vivid dreams that I wake up exhausted and sweating to the degree where I feel like my dreams are actually portals to parallel dimensions where I'm actually living other lives. I don't know if you ever get that, because half the time I don't remember my dreams, and I think that's kind of by design.
that.
You know, but sometimes you get that leakage. You're like, oh my god, that's where deja vu happens. Where you're like, I've dreamed of this before, right? You know, you're not.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I've had that happen a few times, and they say it's a chemical reaction in the brain that makes you think that. But I kind of believe that it's your mind just projecting things that that you're maybe lives that you imagine, and then or yeah, maybe it is alternate universes. Who knows?
Who knows, right? I'm not going to discount it. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
it gives you reasons to. Like, my wife will be mad at me in the morning. She's like, "How could you?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "In my dreams, you cheated on me with 3 women." You know, I'm
that's
just like,
that's a classic.
right.
Mhm.
And that actually happened to me last week. It was like 2 days before Father's Day. I had a dream that my wife, we were all we were at some place where it was like an amusement park, and I couldn't find my wife. I was with my kids, and I saw her with a guy who looked like Jim Gaffigan.
And now you hate
Ball.
now you hate Jim Gaffigan.
I do. I wish nothing but ill will on that man. And she was kissing on the top of his bald head and just having this crazy goblin-like smile. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, how could you? So I walked up to her and she was having her coffee. I was like, do you love him? Tell me now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've been dreaming of an altcoin season for the past 5 years.
I have too. That is so funny. I had a
Mm,
dream that we were millionaires, and in
mm.
a bull market going crazy.
Yeah, we were on a yacht,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim Gaffigan was there,
Jim, if only,
and
if
him and my
only.
wife making weird, like, weird looks at each other.
Yeah, it was crazy. Could
Yeah.
you imagine if I actually meet Jim Gaffigan in person, and he literally looks at my wife, and I look at her, and she like looks weird. I'm like,
I, I think we're manifesting that reality right now.
unfortunately,
Yeah, but
unfortunately,
luckily we're also manifesting the get rich part of it too.
I don't think so. I don't
Just
think
the
so.
just the gaffing part.
Yeah. To
Right.
go back to crypto to blockchain related things,
Mhm.
uh, well, it's Cardano, and the Yoroi, now called SecondFi wallet, had a pretty bad issue. Um, this is not if you're an ADA holder, you're fine. This is not a problem for that. But I did want to bring up a little bit of this image, and I guess most people can't see it anyway. But there was a breakdown in like the encryption, I want to say, Regardless, a hacker got in, 16 million ADA confirmed gone. I could make a joke that this is not a lot of money, but I'm not going to do that because ultimately, we don't want anyone losing money. And there are members of our community who are longtime ADA holders. Hopefully, you were not holding assets in a Yoroi hot wallet, right? So that's the thing. Generally, if
Yeah,
you download a web extension wallet, that is a hot wallet. That is not a hardware wallet or like an air gapped wallet. Um, Key generation itself with weak RNG is what made private keys guessable.
yeah. I mean, I heard some commentary, well, from Ivan on Tech earlier that he was amazed that there was even $20 million in Cardano.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I don't know if this is truly the case either, because only 374 wallets got drained, right?
Mm.
So this points to, you can make the argument that there's only 374 users in Cardano, but I'm not going to do that because shout out to everybody in our community who holds ADA. Keep holding ADA. Do so in a hardware wallet. But does that mean there probably could have been less than 1,000 people using the Yoroi wallet?
I mean, if it was $20 million, I mean, well, I mean, was it a pool that? No, it was wallets that were drained, right? So I mean, that would have
Yeah,
been that means that it would each wallet would have to have $53,000 worth of ADA there on average, or assets
right.
there.
And my guess is that it was very much less than that. First of all, if
Mm.
you're holding more than 1 million ADA in a hot wallet, what do you want me to
Shame,
tell you?
shame
Shame
on
on
you.
you. Exactly.
Hold a
Uh,
million ADA in a hot wallet once. Shame on me.
Hold it twice. Still shame on you. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is unfortunately, there's no good decentralized way to defend this, right? Because then a very centralized solution appears where a chain will go in and freeze funds on wallets, which is what you don't want to see. Um, Now, Keystone looking to increase their marketing. Good for you guys off of this. Where is my Keystone wallet? I have one here. I have two of them, actually. Um, but I guess that's kind of the point, right? If you're going to have a large amount of assets, and large is relative, right? But I'm saying if you have any assets that you're just using or that you're looking to just hold, never hold them on a non-air gapped wallet. Don't put them in a hot wallet like a Yoroi or Lace or any of these others that are out there. Use a hardware wallet that never touches a blockchain, like a Keystone, like a Trezor, like a even a Tangem or a Ledger or whatever is out there. Don't hold them on a CEX either, unless you're actively trading your position. Do not use a CEX like a bank. It's no different than putting it in the bank, if you're asking me. So, sucks that this happened. Sucks for Cardano. This is a terrible black eye, regardless of the fact that it's, you know, that it's not affecting the chain. Yoroi has been there a long time, guys. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. And I don't see how Second Fi comes back from this. This is one of those things that if that's your wheelhouse, that's your bag, that's your jam, and your jam gets exploited, you are pretty much done.
Yeah, they're pretty much toast, I think.
Yeah, I'm just reading this post from Max Weber, just trying to see exactly. Um, what's here? Sorry, Alex Weber. Interesting, interesting. Be very careful out there, guys. Again, always hardware wallet if you're doing cold custody. Um, no reason to keep it on any of these platforms outside of one that you have direct access to. I'm just going to brush on this briefly, just because we have featured this content in our this protocol in our content. Altura had a bank run on them, which is unfortunate. Which which is a strange. This story is strange. I get it. It's more of a risk management play, but overall, the the idea behind Altura, it's a liquidity platform on Hyper EVM. You deposited USDT to get Altura, the AVLT token, which in itself is a great position that you can have. They have them on Pendle and stuff like that. It's great fixed rate farming. That was one we recommended to our community quite a bit. Um, the important part is there's been no exploit. A lot of the issues here is kind of the problem with some of these liquidity platforms, is that toxic. And it's not even bad debt, right? To a degree, it's bad debt. So accountable, which is the main group, it's a group that does transparency dashboards for several protocols. They came through and they publicly terminated their contract with Main Street. They had the MSUSD or MSY token due to not being able to verify the reserves. Fine. But this caused like DPEGs, this caused like huge swings on cross-chain vaults across the ecosystems, right? This is kind of the issue with having some money Legos, is that counterparty risk can be a really bad problem to have here, right? Because if you lose the backing of one of your money Legos, well, then your whole structure starts to weaken, right? Regardless of how this all came through, this is exactly what a bank run looks like. You run to your bank, like this happened in China, 2 years ago, Robert, where people started going and they wanted their money. Banks aren't going to have your money right away because your money is being lent in a depository pool somewhere, or they don't carry that cash in the vault on premises, right? So it has to be requested. Money is wired out. It has to pass the clearinghouse, and then it's to you in like 3 business days, roughly. Similar strategy here is that because your money is tied up in other strategies to earn yield, you've got to wait. Like if you go to a broker right now and you're like, I want to cash a good example of this is Acorns, right? Acorns is a self investing platform, right? You go and you drop in money every month, and those things are like in annuities, all kinds of funds, stocks, bonds. You can choose how aggressive or non-aggressive you want to be. Either way, if you want to redeem your money because they are shares in a fund, you have to wait 3 business days roughly to get that money back, because they're happy to redeem it for you, but you have to wait because there is a process for unwinding your position in their fund. They have to unwind and sell on their side so they have the cash available. All this stuff. Same thing here. The difference is when everybody wants to do it at once, then chaos happens, right? You have any thoughts, Robert, before I continue with the talk on this?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit privately,
Yeah.
and the sort of the contagion effect it's had on different protocols. Um, yeah, and also how, like, what can be done to identify this sort of weaknesses going forward. We talked about risk curators, um, how they build vaults that are affected by this. And yeah, there's a lot of questions about how to prevent this, I think.
Now, I appreciate the tweet from Ranveer Aura, who's the CEO. He actually made a tweet on this that they were going to actually sunset the vault entirely, which I thought was interesting, right? Because this is the part that is the most difficult, is that if you get the bank run portion and everybody who has big money gets their money out first, there's no guarantee that people who didn't get there in time will get their money all together. So, um, Altura adopted a process that all holders equally will get their funds back in time. So, they're 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 in a spat. This is not a good look. This is bad optics overall, but I think we'll move forward from this. Obviously, it just sucks that it came. I'm not gonna say it's bad timing because there's no such thing as good timing for stuff like this. But this is kind of the dark side of what can happen when you're using cross-chain vaults, right? It's simple as that. This happens. This can happen to any financial instrument, by the way, guys. This is not just what you're seeing here in DeFi. This can happen anywhere. So before you grab your pitchforks and go out, this can happen with any fund, not just this. We've seen multiple funds, right, Robert, where people are like, class action lawsuit because where's my effing money, and they can't provide it. They're actually figuring out a way to do that for all holders. So obviously, kudos to them for that. Sucks with everything else that's going on, but at least in this case, people will hopefully be able to get all of their funds back in a timely manner. So I know we do have some people in our communities who are in AVLT. Worst case scenario, you can swap AVLT out for USDT 0 at multiple spots. You might get a little bit of slippage or a haircut, but if it's something that you need to do now, you can do it. So yeah. Hi, girls. My kids just came home. So, interesting part of, and I want to talk to you about this, Robert. So, the housing bill has come through, and interestingly enough, passed the Senate, going to his desk, and President Trump says that he has canceled the signing because he believes that the Save America Act, which last I checked, at least in my state, already happens. And I don't know exactly what states that, I think at least 45 of the 50 states require an ID to vote. Last time I checked. Don't quote me on that. Watch me get clipped for this. Nothing else on K-pop or anything, I get clipped for that. But this is interesting. Granted, people are gonna cry foul that it's Caitlin Collins who. By the way, he does like Caitlin Collins. I know that it looks like he trashes her live on TV because he seemingly does that to all people. But she's always invited to everything. By the way, comments are interesting. Problem is that's just not what the Save America Act does. There's a lot more that happens in there that could be a little bit interesting. After a lot of and the other part that's in this bill that I noticed that Crypto Wendio, shout out to Crypto Wendio, put in was that I don't know if you knew this, Robert, but they had slipped an anti-CBDC clause into the housing bill, meaning that there will never it bans CBDCs until December 31st, 2030. Q day, right? Whatever that day is.
Yeah.
So the irony of this is that there is an anti-CBDC clause in the Clarity Act. It's been there since day one. They didn't put it in the Genius Act, they put it in the Clarity Act instead. Clearly, them putting it in here tells me that they were pretty positive that it wasn't passing this year. So, him this morning claiming that he was going to not sign it, he was canceling the signing because he wanted to get the Save America Act forward, which probably doesn't have the votes to pass, by the way, is kind of interesting. So, before people say, why is there a CBDC bill in this bill? Guys, that you need to go look back at what pork barrel politics is. This is pork. Absolutely pork. Kind of how we got the Obamacare fine taken out. through another piece of legislation. So you're saying, Robert? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you think he's not signing it because there's the anti CBDC clause in there?
No, no. I just think it's interesting that. Oh, that has no. He definitely is. He's said multiple times he doesn't want a CBDC. It's just putting it
Hmm.
into law that it won't happen. And the first place it was supposed to happen was in the Clarity Act. So them slipping it into this housing bill, which was most likely going to pass, and it did, by a large margin, 358 to 32 in the House. Uh, you know, I thought was interesting. But then I saw that Trump has said he will sign the bill to limit private equity and corporate home ownership. That is what this is. It'll also limit the amount of housing, residential housing that investment companies can buy, which I think is a positive thing, personally. But uh, the more interesting part of this is understanding how congressional law works, because as long as they're in session, even if he doesn't sign the bill, because it passed both houses of Congress, the bill will go into law anyway, if as long as they're in session 10 days since the day it was sent up. So regardless if he grandstands or not on this, the bill's going to pass because they are not. It'll be before the July 4th recess. So fun.
Do you think there's you think they're putting it in there because they believe that also the Clarity Act is not going to pass?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
To me, that's the sign, right? That if they're sneaking things into other bills that should have been in a main bill, I mean, there's just that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure he's going to sign it because I think that's just.
It's strange. It's strange because I don't think anyone's rushing to create a CBDC. So
No, that's the part that's crazy, right? States have voted against it. I think Texas did. Florida's had one in for since I think DeSantis' first 3 weeks in office. Uh,
mhm.
he in Florida he passed the anti-CBDC law a long time ago. So I mean,
Yeah.
were people taking signs like the only thing I think of, Robert, that people would think this way is because the Fed, because we don't have a central bank, by the way, all right? But the Fed is the closest thing we could have to an authority that could kind of be like the central bank. Um, the Fed's not going to have a stable coin. They don't have a reason to. Well, they kind of do now, but they historically there was no reason for it, and I'll tell you why I just said that in a minute. But you could maybe read the tea leaves that the fact that they gave Kraken a pilot to have a skinny master account accessing to Fed's lending lines and stuff like that, but not the actual assets, maybe kind of showed people that maybe there could be a CBDC. The fact that the Fed had their BTFP program that allowed banks to borrow money from the Fed at par and now has more than $1 trillion of debt on the books. The CBDC to help break that up, maybe. Oh, I'm using my hands a lot today. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be.
Could be. What happened to no new bills until the Save Act is passed? Brother, you can't rely on anything like that. Are you crazy? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Would that really be why he did that? Oh, that's annoying. If he if he literally did this just to show that he still recognizes the fact that he said no new bills, oh, that's annoying. Eh, we'll see. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough politics for today. Uh, I guess that doesn't help with the next story we're going to talk about. The Ethereum Foundation, guys, has reduced. They fired a whole after. Okay, so here's the thing. They went through this whole social media campaign to hire tons of people at the Ethereum Foundation, to then turn around yesterday, and lay off 20% of the staff. along with 8 of their senior leadership leaving. Now, we've talked about this on the show. They only own 0.16% of the global ETH supply. They don't own their most if right Robert, if you're a foundation, you would expect them to own at least 40%, right? Of the
Mm.
token. Not the case here. They're they're morphing into more of an endowment fund, more of a steering committee. Uh, they've restructured basically, and that's fine. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. It's not going to have a terrible effect on Ethereum overall. If you think this is stopping all of the banks and all the fintech from moving on to blockchain rails, guys, with Ethereum at the front, you've got the wrong picture painted. This is all still happening, guys. ETH is going to power the majority of tokenized stocks, of bank on ramping, variety of things. That's still happening. And it's happening this year. I don't think that changes at all. So, in addition to that, Robert, we'll get to your thoughts in a second. 5 former researchers at from the Ethereum Foundation have gone and created ETH Labs. It's a non-profit R&D for Ethereum and ETH. I think this is the better idea, honestly, because they can raise all the money they want. People won't get pissed off by the foundation holding so much or, doing whatever. And this gives them the ability, because most of the issues that happen with ETH are done through Ethereum magicians and other types of working groups anyway. So I'm bullish on this. I think that these 4 pillars that have incredible neutrality, believing in ETH, believing in DeFi through markets, liquidity, credit, exchange, and coordination, open to everybody in a decentralized, trustless, permissionless way, and adoption. 4 very good pillars to unite over. And I think this is going to be hopefully a very good and hopefully well-funded initiative to continue pushing ETH as the top smart contract digital asset in the world. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, it seems like the vibes are better in this approach, or with this new group. Yeah, Ethereum Foundation has a sort of reputation of kind of just being behind the curve, I think, um, in terms of development, political infighting.
They're behind the curve on political infighting. I love it.
Oh yeah, no. In terms, I mean, behind the
No, no,
curve in
no.
terms of development.
I know what you
Also,
mean.
yeah,
With the political
yeah,
infighting.
and just being one, kind of seen as like a stuffy, kind of out of touch entity for a long time, and yeah, it seems like this is a better move with ETH Labs.
Yeah, yeah. So they are hiring, if you're curious, um, and they have a bunch of people who are in support of what's going on. Right. So, pardon me. These are all the people who are going to be supporting. Oh, Anchor founders: Bitmine, SharpLink, Joe Lubin. Shocker. Um, with big contributors, right? And all of these guys who are contributors in some sort. I mean, these are all people that are very important in the space. You got a bunch of people there. So check out ethlabs.org. In fact, we'll look at the website now. I have yet to look at the website. Oh yeah, there's Julian Ma. Oh, you can contribute. I'm guessing people already have. Big contributors: Octant, which of course is a big part of Ethereum Foundation's creator and meteor pushes. Anchorage Digital, Konstantin Lamashuk, and SNZ. Maybe all big names. That's good. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. I think it's a good sign for ETH overall. I did want to look at the market one more time real quick while we
Oh, yeah.
59
Let's see how the
trading.
rally cap is doing. Yeah.
Rally cap is not working, guys. I apologize. Maybe I need to turn it backwards because
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
it is fairly bright. There we go. Bitcoin rally caps are on. Altcoin season 47 100. That's not bad. That's not
That's what
good.
they're calling this a 47.
Yes.
I don't want to see what a 20 is.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't that long ago where we were at 23. It was
Yeah,
not
but
looking good.
this is a 47 purely being driven by hype, the token hype,
Mm,
and a couple others, but not much else, right?
yeah, agreed. Well, last week, Robert, we actually we did a full Father's Day buying guide as part of, if your dad's a tech head investor like myself, or if you're just a tech enthusiast like Robert here, you definitely want to consider, and and again, shout out to everyone who's a dad who hopefully had a great Father's Day last week, but this week is Prime Day. It used to be Prime Days, like one day, 2 days. Now it's 4 full days. One thing I did want to highlight, if you are curious about any of this stuff, and you can see some of the things I did buy a pickleball set yesterday that hopefully will be here today. We'll see. One thing I did want to talk about, if you're curious about this, is the buy again feature. So one thing you may want to look at is the buy again feature. So if you've bought something previously and you want to buy more things, you can see if something that you had bought previously is on sale. Like, for example, one of my favorite ways that I can come to you with any energy, which is G Fuel. Hype sauce, which is one of my personal favorites. That's the Ninja flavor. It's a raspberry lemonade. That's on sale for $21.49 for the tub. I will be adding that to my cart because I definitely need more of that. I'm almost out, actually. Actually, I haven't had hype sauce in a minute. I've been on Sage Mode, which is their white peach and pomelo, which is fantastic flavor, by the way. So yeah, check out Buy Again, and then if you're looking for another good deal for Prime Day, obviously I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should be buying, besides hardware wallets and whatnot, and good things for your personal operational security. But slickdeals.net is something I've been using for years, like decades. Uh, and Going to the front page is always normally picked through pretty hard. But if you go to hot deals, forums hot deals, and then set that puppy to 80, you can do, yeah, up here, and well, you can't see it because I have it cut off, but there's a parameter that shows you how many you want per page. Actually, it's right here. If you just go to showing 80 per page, there we go, and then you can get 80 of them. And then this is normally like, front page is like, it's been goated. You got to go. But a lot of people already looked at it. If you're looking for a deal that hasn't happened and isn't front page, going to hot deals on Slick Deals is pretty good, because they have people who are very passionate about saving money, and you, as a tech enthusiast and digital investor, should also be big into saving money, because that's more capital that you can have to buy your favorite assets. So, do you use stuff like this at all, Robert?
No, I haven't seen this yet.
You've never
I
been to Slick
use.
Deals? Oh wow, brother. Yeah, you gotta tap into this one, man.
I wonder if it works in Mexico
That's a good question.
or Amazon Mexico.
That's a good question. Um, it just kind of depends. That's not a bad deal. A 65-inch C5 from LG, because they have, in my opinion, some of the best OLEDs on the planet. $10.99 for a 65 for the OLED Evo. That's not a bad deal. You have to have a Sam's Club membership for that, but And that's a beautiful panel, by the way. Beautiful panel. I personally have wanted to get a 43-inch to use as a monitor. And that's a whole other thing. Being able to have multiple charts on one 43-inch TV. It's cool. It's cool. You can actually do it, and they have a feature where you can actually partition off parts of the TV as different spaces, and then just move things to different spaces. It's a really cool feature that's available on LG TVs. So for anyone who's looking for an idea on how to have, a better, more productive monitor, you could consider using a 43 or 48-inch LG monitor, LG TV as a monitor rather. And then you plug that into your HDMI port on your system, however you do that. So that's just a little tip from me in terms of how, because I still use my MacBook M1 Max as my main thing. It's here on a stand to my right, and then to my left is my 34-inch curved Dell monitor, which I've had for, 7 years now, 6 years, almost 7. Still working really well. What's interesting about this, Robert, is that I realized that I didn't need a 4K monitor. As much as people love having 4K monitors, it's great. I mean, I'm literally, I'm 8 inches away from this thing. I don't need a 4K monitor to have a 3840 by 2160 view. I have a 3440 by 1080 view. 1440. Whatever the correct ultra wide 21.9 view is, and it works just fine. I get the reason why people are into having larger monitors. Like I've looked at the Odyssey, right? So if I just look at an Odyssey G9, that's not terrible at all. Oh no! No, why are you on sale? Oh no! I can't look at this. I'm gonna hit the buy it now button. You know what the irony is? My desk is 48 inches wide.
It's like the same. Wider than your desk.
This thing is gonna go wider than my actual desk, which is fine. I don't mind. Oh man, it's on sale for 34% off. Oh no. This is a real dilemma on the podcast, guys. Real dilemma. Let's look at the price history. Because generally this is really? Memorial. Oh, they had another sale on Memorial. No, this is normally a $1,000 monitor. So to see it below, this is probably the lowest we're going to see until we get to Black Friday. This is not a bad monitor at all. And again, it's not a 4K monitor, guys. Just so you know, it is a 32.9. Where is it? Yeah, 32.9 QHD.
Yeah, mine. I'm looking at mine now because I have an LG Ultra Gear curved 34-inch one, and
oh, that's nice too, brother. That's a nice monitor as well.
I thought it was 4K, but it's 3440 by 1440.
Yep, that's what mine is.
21:9.
Yeah, this is 32, just because it's just that much wider.
Is it
5120 by 1440.
So mine's not 4K either?
No, 4K is 3840 by 2160.
So it's close.
Yeah. I mean, it looks fine, right?
Yeah.
Because 7 years ago, I paid $499 for my 34-inch monitor. So this really, for $150 more. I'm not trying to sell people on this because I don't get a. I'm not getting the thing off of this, right? I'm not being sponsored for this, but the fact that this is on sale is, oh no. No. I don't know. Would you get this? Fuck yeah, I'd get this.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
That's great. No, that's great. I know people are going to come. If you were to come to my house and you saw it at a 49-inch monitor on a 48-inch wide standing desk, you'd be like, "What's wrong with you, brother?" But the productivity. Let's be honest. The productivity is real. It really is. Because to be able to, because I do my video editing on a 34-inch monitor. To have it on a 49-inch monitor or even a 34-inch monitor within a partition to then have whatever else right there, like my Finder window with all of my clips and other stuff right there, that's such a godsend. Or obviously if you're gaming, which obviously a beautiful experience to have it on a 49-inch monitor. All right, I need to stop looking at this. I do want to thank Robert for being here. Bitcast Network Subnet 93 on the BitTensor subnet. BitTensor ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, sir.
We just directly connect creators with brands. If you're a YouTube creator that's already monetized, check it out, bitcast.network. You can sign up as a creator. We'll get you approved quickly. You can browse some of the campaigns we have going on. Right now we have a campaign from BitGet. And if all you have to do is just check the brief, produce a couple minutes of content for in a video, with relevant surrounding content, and then you get paid based on performance. So it's a really cool and easy way to connect directly creators to brands without a whole lot of middlemen or negotiations.
Is Mark Jeffrey really making content?
Oh yeah,
shout out to Mark. Yeah, I see Jesus is there too. Jesus Martinez. I need to start making more content for them, so I'm going to be doing that because I have made content for them in the past. I will make.
Yeah, man. I mean, the average video earns at least a few $100s for a video integration. So it's it's a pretty slick platformer. We're looking to expand, especially on a creator base. If you're a creator, definitely contact us. I am at Omega__84 on X, and then you can also email us at hello@bitcast.network.
hello@bitcast.network. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Albert, as always, for being here. Check out Bitcast. I'm a longtime user of the platform as a creator. Good group of guys there who put up this subnet in a very interesting way. It just shows the very cool variant of subnets that are on BitTensor. For those of you who are unaware of BitTensor is a fantastic layer 1 blockchain that has an AI spin on it. It's just a market of digital super commodities that are all AI facing and AI adjacent. There's bittensor.org, I guess is one, but I'm just going to pull up the Tau app from, I think, is it Subnet 5 who does this? Or is it 14? I think it's 14. Regardless, there's 128 different subnets that do different things. They're all around a certain type of AI facing or AI adjacent product. For example, Shoots is for containers for AI. Targon is a long time AI inference company. And we've got a whole, Vanta is the old Taoshi PTN proprietary network. We've got VPN-like activity here. We've got people doing lead generation. We have video game content, like in terms of Unity, using AI-based inference and stuff like that to produce game assets, graphics, sound, music, that type of stuff. There's even a group that does cancer research, looking at proteins, looking at diseases. I think that's really cool. There's 93 Bitcast right there. There's a whole bunch of different groups. They're all competing against each other with their alpha tokens to try and get the most value back for their customers, and that's the thing. So if you're looking to find the next big subnet, you can go to tau.app and look at the ones that are in the bottom 50 percentile. They're working on things. They could be ready to ship. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research, but consider where we're at. Also, Tao has been one of my longtime DCAs forever because I'm a big believer in what they're trying to create, which is the fact that AI should be decentralized, right? No one group, whether it's Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, full countries, XAI, not one of them should be owning the entirety of the AI space. Having decentralized AI where you have all the components that they can do. I didn't even mention Google. All here in a bunch of working group subnets creating great products that a lot of these projects are actually and companies are actually using is huge. Did I sell Bitcoin okay? I mean Bitcoin, BitTorrent okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. Yeah.
BitTensor. God, what is wrong with me?
I want to give a shout out to a new platform that some members of the Bitcast team, along with Gordon Frayne and Vanta, launched on Vanta. It's called Hyperstack.
Hyperstack. Okay.
Yeah, it is a basically a prop trading.
Yes.
Built for Hyperliquid, so it interfaces
yes.
directly.
I forgot that is something that where'd it go?
It's hyperstack.trade.
But are you sure it's not hyperscaled?
We had to change the name.
Oh, okay. So hyperstack.trade.
I guess you heard from Ken about it, I guess, right?
Me, Luke.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm going to reach out to Luke because when he was on the show last, he talked about hyperscale. So hyperstack is the new thing.
Yeah, it just launched last week.
Very cool.
Yeah, you should try to sign up for the challenge. I believe the first two get a $1,000 account to start with.
That's
the first
right.
200.
Yeah, look at that. I guess they have changed it from hyperscale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's prop AMM. Yeah, because Luke was on the show 2 weeks ago, so I guess things can change in a week. So
yeah,
there we go.
They had to change the name last minute. I think it was too close to some other name.
Okay, all good. Well, I'm glad you're on top of that. Appreciate you, brother. So hyperstack.trade registered. Be one of the first 200 people to get a prop account here, and prop trading on chain, I think, is a very cool idea, especially if you don't have a ton of capital. You get to trade like you do. So that's the best part about having this type of system. If you have big dreams of trading and stuff like that, check out Hyperstack. Again, the first 200 get a free $1,000 account. We don't have a ref code for this, guys. So just go and get on off the alpha, and we will tell them we sent you, and maybe we can work out some content.
Well, you can reach out to me, and I'll hook up a referral code. So.
Awesome. There we go. Ref code from Robert at Bitcast for Hyperstack. If you're in, comment, like. Would love to have you a part of this. So
definitely.
Thanks again, Robert, for being here. Also, check out the mothership, school.com/beacon. If you liked what you saw today, would love to have you check out the site. Again, school.com/beacon. Total Value Locked is the name of the podcast. Is also the name of our free community. Check out our Start Here post. Get a message from myself and our CEO, Andrew, and you'll learn more about what we do. We have tons of free content, but we also have one-on-one mentorship in our paid mastermind community. Be amongst the best, bunch of like-minded individuals. And I want to say thank you to our Beacon Mastermind founding members, our current Beacon Mastermind members, as well as our Beacon Spotlight subscribers and our Beacon Challenge members. Great to have you all here. Thank you for making what we do possible. And that's the show for this week. We'll be back next week for another fantastic panel. And we're here every week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And it's been a fun time. Rally caps are still on, guys. I think they even do like upside down and backwards like this. I think I've seen at the College World Series, which was just here in the Omaha area. Just ended yesterday. Congratulations to the University of Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner, for winning, I think, their first ever College World Series. They were a complete underdog, in this race. They could say they kind of were underperforming most of the season because their record wasn't. I mean, it wasn't bad, but not as good as quite a few of the groups that were here. They beat North Carolina in the final and went the full 3 games. So glad to see that all is well there. So again, thanks for joining us. Robert, any last words before you head out, sir?
Just keep wearing that rally cap.
Keep stop selling your Bitcoin. It's that simple. Or at least aggressively DCA. Again, that's the thing. Aggressively DCA, then you don't care what your cost basis is, right? With that said, we'll see you next week for our show. So we see you on the show here. Beacons up. Banks down. We'll see you Friday, guys, for our Beat the Banks podcast, 3 p.m. Eastern. Take care. We'll see you next time.